Hi, this is Kevin Given. Welcome to my Kickstarter campaign. I'm looking to fund the comic book Foul Blood, a 4-issue miniseries of Karl Vincent Vampire Hunter. And I need to finish paying the artists. We're going to show you some artwork, and the artist pages are right below the video. So thanks for joining us, and let's get it going. All right, once again, this is the Kickstarter campaign to finish the adaptation of the novel Foul Blood. Artists are Edward J. Stinson III and Kenneth Caroli. The novel's action takes place in a cross-dressing club called First Impressions. And now I want to stress, I know that gay rights things are very hot-button issues in today's politics. So I want to stress that there's no offense to those in the LGBT lifestyle. First Impressions is based loosely on Jacques Cabaret in Boston. I sent them a copy of the manuscript for the novel version of Foul Blood and some pages from the comic book, and they seemed very cool about what I was doing. And the homage, of course, is to Tim Curry in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That was the inspiration for me using Jacques Cabaret as a loose model on the club in the novel First Impressions. Instead of one transvestite, I have a whole club full. I wanted flamboyant suspects for Karl to interrogate. I want to stress Last Rites is the first novel in the Karl Vincent Vampire Hunter series, though it takes place after Foul Blood. And the first 6 comics of the Karl Vincent Vampire Hunter series adapt the novel Last Rites, which is an epic adventure. It takes place in Boston, goes to New York, then off to Cairo, Egypt, and Calcutta, India. Foul Blood reads more like an old noir mystery thriller along the lines of Dashiell Hammett, Raymond Chandler, and Mickey Spillane. You can see completed pages below this video in my Kickstarter campaign. And if you want to know where I am in the development of Foul Blood, go to Facebook and like and follow the Karl Vincent Vampire Hunter page, also the Last Rites, the Return of Sebastian Basilis page. And I want to stress I am very excited about the fact that Last Rites is being made into a major motion picture through Crisp Filmworks. And hopefully Foul Blood will be made into a television pilot, which is what I'm going for here. But for right now, we need to finish the pages, and I'd like your help. And the story begins as Karl and his partner Lyle Chauncey come across a body in the back lot of the club First Impressions. The body has been decapitated and drained of blood. Officer Steve Mitchell jokes maybe the killer was a vampire. And Karl mentions that this looks like the work of a serial killer that he put away years ago named David Reynolds. I based Reynolds loosely on the real serial killer, Danny Rawlins, who was known of as the Gainesville Ripper here in Florida. In fact, the first Scream movie was inspired by the Rawlins case. However, Reynolds is in prison, so Lyle offers that this new killer could be a copycat. And Karl says, well, it could be. And the body was tied up after she died. The coroner lets Karl know. And why would anyone do that? Why would anyone tie up a corpse? Karl poses the point that it might be some kind of sick ritual. Karl and Lyle enter the club, First Impressions, to talk to the owner and supposedly former hitman, Leo Kowalski. Karl tells Leo that they have to question his staff, including him. Leo says he has nothing to do with it. Karl says it's just a formality, and Lyle responds, besides, if you did it, she'd wind up in a meat freezer in another state. And Leo says, who's the putz? Karl says, meet my new partner, Lyle Chauncey. Leo says, partner? I thought you was babysitting. Then Leo leaves in a huff. Karl and Lyle question the staff, starting with the manager, Linda Lane. Then it's Olivia DeCoy, bartender Randy Reisel, who is a real woman, and the waitresses Praise and Roberta. Karl questions the name Praise. That's not a common name. To which she replies that her parents were Christian hippies. And Karl says, Jesus freaks. Praise says that her full name is Praise Him, Hymn More. Praise Him More is her full legal name. Then they meet Betty Ford. Imagine The Rock, Dwayne Johnson in drag. That's what Betty Ford looks like. Her size makes Karl nervous, and she flirts with Lyle. Karl says, see, if you play your cards right, you could get lucky. And finally, Karl finds out that David Reynolds has escaped from prison, and the victim could be his handiwork after all. And that's where we're at in the story. Karl goes home and has to tell his wife these developments, and I need completion funds to finish the issue. Perks are on the side. We have 8 comic books, 6 of one title, 2 of another to give away, both digital and hard copy. Plus we have the 2 novels, Last Rites, The Return of Sebastian Basilis, and Foul Blood. Now, Foul Blood is the original story of Karl Vincent. Even though it was published after Last Rites, the story comes before that. So read over the perks, and if you want to help this project, donate. You will get the perks. And if you donate over $150, you'll get both novels, all 8 comic books, and you will have a cameo in a Karl Vincent comic book. And you can be anything you want. You can be a vampire, maybe a werewolf, a ghoul, a ghost, one of Karl's vampire hunting friends. It's up to you. Let me know when you write me, and thank you for considering funding this project.